So there is some absolutely massive news that has come out today out of the gaming world where Steam, Valve themselves have come out and expanded on their hardware line, where previously they just had the Steam Deck, and the Steam Deck itself has done really well, and it's really good as well. It's like, not only has it sold extremely well, but the Steam Deck, I don't have one myself, but one of my best friends has one. He loves it so much, and really, if you go online and look at the general consensus of when it comes to the Steam Deck, a lot of people love it. So obviously, I think that with the success of the Steam Deck, it has now led to Steam and Valve themselves expanding of when it comes to their hardware, and they have expanded with 3 different things: a controller, a hybrid console, and a VR headset. First off, the controller itself. Listen, the features of the controller, really cool. Okay, like especially of when it comes to the plug and play system and charging it, the little puck as they're calling it, really good. Okay, but the controller itself, it looks like ass, okay? It looks like fucking shit. It looks like if someone took an Atari Jaguar controller and one of the original Xbox controllers and fucking mashed them together, okay? It's really bulky. It's really bulky. I don't know how this is going to be comfortable to play with, but, you know, we'll see, okay? We'll just have to wait and see about that. And then there's the VR headset, which it's like, yeah, it's cool, but I don't really care too much about the VR. The one main thing that I want to talk about is the Steam machine, okay? The little black box. A lot of people are saying that it looks like the fucking GameCube. It's literally as if they took the GameCube and they just made it modern day. And honestly, I don't blame them. That's what it looks like. And I think it looks good, okay? I really like the simplicity of the design that they've gone. But one thing that I want to talk about of when it comes to the Steam machine is the fact that I think that this right here is a step forward of when it comes to the future of console gaming and how console gaming is not going to be like it used to be. Because even though this is kind of like a mini PC, it is essentially a console, okay? Because you put it up, hook it up to your TV, and you play with your controller. It's a hybrid. And that's where I think that a lot of consoles are going to start to go of when it comes to the future. Because if you look in recent times and recent trends of when it comes to the difference between like console gaming and PC gaming, I definitely think that console gaming itself is on a bit of a decline. Not entirely. Like, this is not me coming here and saying that consoles are going to be completely obsolete. No one's going to have one. But I definitely think that they are on the decline a little bit, especially when it comes to your standard consoles. Like, if you look at the console sales of all time, the only ones that are really at the top is like your PlayStation 2s and then like your Nintendos, because they do things extremely unique. You know, theirs aren't really just a typical console. But even if you look at like the current generation that is going on, like the sales for those, they haven't been able to go above their previous generations, especially when it comes to Xbox. Like PlayStation, they're very close, and I think that the data that I'm showing might be a little bit like outdated, but when it comes to especially Xbox, those themselves are like way behind of when it comes to previous generations. And this is because a lot of people have started to move to PC gaming. They have, because back in the day, like, it was more accessible and way more affordable as well to buy a console. Nowadays, PC gaming has risen exponentially, and even though, yes, consoles are definitely more affordable than like your PC is, it's a lot more affordable than it used to be, and it's also a lot more accessible of when it comes to PC gaming too. And the one reason why people would buy consoles a lot of the times would be for exclusives. But now you see a lot of these exclusives, especially when it comes to, you know, Sony and Xbox, they're just getting ported onto the PC. Like, that's the reason why Nintendo holds a monopoly on their games and why their consoles sell so well, is because of the exclusives that they have. Because if you want to play fucking Mario, you want to play Zelda, you have to buy a Switch. Nowadays, when it comes to these Sony games and Xbox games, even if they are exclusives, eventually they do get ported over. Like, they're not all-time exclusives. They're only limited time exclusives. They might be exclusive for a couple years, and then before you know it, they get ported over to PC as well. So I think that with this is going to lead to like the future of a lot of things becoming hybrid and how consoles are going to change in time to come. I mean, it's already been leaked of when it comes to the next Xbox console as well, is that supposedly is going to be a hybrid. Like, it's not just going to be a standard console like we've seen in previous generations, is that itself is going to be a hybrid similar to what this Steam machine is going to be. And I think that when it comes to the affordability of the Steam machine, from the specs that have come out of this thing so far, I definitely think that it's obviously going to be maybe a little bit more than the Steam Deck. Obviously, because the Steam Deck has a screen, that's one thing that definitely puts up the cost of it. But the specs in the Steam machine are definitely a lot better than the Steam Deck, but it will cost a little bit more. How much more? We don't really know at this point in time. A lot of people are speculating like it might be around 800 USD for that. I think when the people are saying that, they mean by the standard 512 gigabyte version as well, which if you really think about it, for like a hybrid console PC is pretty good, especially when if you want to build a decent PC these days, they can cost you anywhere up to $2,000. And I think that with this innovation that Steam is doing, that Valve is doing, I think that this is good. I think that if you are a consumer, you should be happy about this. And when it comes to Valve, I mean, I don't really trust too many companies these days. And when it comes to the video game world, like I really don't. I don't. A lot of these big conglomerates, I don't really trust them. But Steam, Valve to me is 100% one of them that they can trust because it's run by fucking Gabe Newell. Godly, fucking almighty Gabe Newell. So I trust him 100%. Now, a couple criticisms, obviously, about like the Steam machine. A lot of people are speculating about cost and about specs, which I've already talked about briefly. But also a lot of people are mentioned about how Steam has already dipped their foot into this in the past because they have actually tried to bring something like this out previously and it didn't work. And when it comes to that, I would have to say that I think that that is definitely something that like they dipped their feet into a little bit too early. Like it's like when it comes to cloud gaming. Now, if you look at something like Google Stadia, that itself was a fucking flop. Okay, I think the idea was there, the idea was good, but it was way too early because you look at like the Xbox Game Pass, and obviously when it comes to the Xbox Game Pass, we've had the recent changes which has plummeted it, but up until the recent cost changes and all the different tiers and the way that they've flipped around, which I think is a complete fucking disaster. Like I legitimately canceled my Xbox Game Pass subscription because of the changes that they put in. But besides that, before the changes, it was a great thing to have, and I think it's like where the Google Stadia was too early, Xbox Game Pass was on the right time. And it's once again of where like things are moving forward of when it comes to console gaming is that nothing's more going to be set on consoles. They're going to be hybrids. And I think that when it comes to, you know, the Steam machine is that yes, Valve tried this in the past, but I think that it was one of those things where they did it a little bit too early. And I think that with this Steam machine, I really think that this thing is going to hit off. I honestly do. I think that this is a smart business decision. I think it's a great consumer thing as well. And overall, even though there has been a little bit of criticism, but it's not really massive criticism, it's more speculation. But we saw the exact same thing of when it came to the Steam Deck. I mean, a lot of people were like very speculative of when it came to the Steam Deck before it came out. And then it got released and everyone realized how much of a great fucking product it was. And I think that the Steam machine is going to be the exact same. Now, obviously the controller is still going to be a piece of shit. I mean, you can look at it. And once again, the VR headset, I think it will be good. I mean, it's just going to be another VR headset. The only thing is that this one's going to be a lot more compatible with the Steam machine. So if you have the money, you're probably going to buy all three. And I'm guessing that Steam will probably do some kind of bundle with the three of these, or maybe even with the Steam Deck as well. Like put all four of them for a cheaper price. Because honestly, if I was Valve, I would go ahead and do so. But I think that this itself is a great thing for the whole entire industry moving forward. And I also definitely think that this itself is changing consoles forever. Like I think that the way that consoles are going to be going forward, going into the next generation of when it comes to the next Xbox and the PlayStation 6, I think that consoles are going to have to be hybrids like this Steam machine is. I really do. I honestly think that this is the end of the era of when it comes to consoles, the way we know it now. Not completely, but the way that we've known consoles for the last like fucking 40 years or whatever it's, or however long we've had like, you know, consoles for. I think that this is going to change them going forward. But I would definitely like to hear what you guys think about this whole entire thing down below. Are you excited for the new hardware that Steam is releasing? Or are you a bit skeptical? Or you don't really care? Let me know about that down below. That's going to be from me. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Peace out.